Here's one that we haven't spoke of in a bit. This is CEI, and it has fired some signals that we must go over. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and do that now. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again on this happy Monday. This is ARCa coming at you with a CEI technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCab. Actually, we changed the name. It's called ARCa Bulls. All right, you guys, stop messing up. All right, let's go ahead and get this started now. Actually, guys, do not fall for those comments in the comments below. Don't fall for the WhatsApp me and the text me. There's a lot of ARCa imposters out there who are just out there to take, my credibility and use it so they can take your money. Guys, I have a family. I will never be suggesting or giving out my phone number like that. And I also don't have WhatsApp. Okay, you guys. In fact, nobody has my phone number. So just know that it's not me. Okay, please do not fall for those scam artists. They are just out there to take advantage of you, and it is not me. Okay, you guys. So let's go ahead and now move on and get this taken care of. All right, so CEI on the 12-hour chart. This is a statistical backtest that I actually performed quite some time ago that did have that looks to be showing some promise soon. Okay, and I'm just showing you this because these are all of my notes that I've actually taken for a backtest that involves a volatility versus momentum. Okay, this is very, very specific, a very specific type of backtest, statistical backtest, so that we can see the potentials of the upside. Okay, so the firing of the signal officially started at about the opening of this candle iteration here on January 12th, 2023. Okay, very interesting. I haven't been seeing this for a while now, so it's important to touch on this this now in case there are any people still holding the downside on this. Okay, so per that backtest, we actually noticed a total of 44 iterations, of which 29 were guessed correctly to the upside based on the volatility versus momentum profile. And because we got 29, we have an averaged upside accuracy of about almost 66% with an averaged upside thrust of about 73.195%. If we were to apply that from the firing of the signal, which is off this candle right over here, we can see that we're being essentially taken to about $3. Okay, so this is still looking very good. Price action is sitting right now at about $2.23. So still lots of upside to go for CEI. Okay, now let's go ahead and validate. Let's go ahead and continue our validation or our thesis to the upside. This is the broadening descending wedge that we've been looking at for quite some time now for CEI that I have actually not moved, and it's still there, just the way it was when we last touched it. Okay, so this is following the golden rule of 3. This is a complex breakout because it is a buy formation. Okay, so we do have a descending channel, which may essentially have been invalidated, but it looks like we're trying to reclaim it now. So it looks like the master formation may actually be the broadening descending wedge, of which 3 tests of that golden rule of 3 have been met of the resistance. We have test 1 here, we have test 2 here, we have test 3, followed by what I always talk about. Test number 3 usually signals the shorts to open up a huge bull trap right over here and send us all the way to the literally in perfect correlation to the downside or the lower area of our broadening descending wedge. Okay, so it looks like we have validated that support and now are starting to make that continuation to the upside. Please notice that the candle iteration that we faced right over here, which is today, all that upside move came to test the resistance or newly converted support into resistance of our descending channel. Very, very curious. Okay, so what we were looking at, I think we were essentially right around here or here when maybe here in December when we were last touching on CEI. I was telling everybody that the downside is very, very likely here, and I was actually trying to say that maybe that downside could land at about $2.19 because of the inverse 1-spot 618 Fibonacci ratio that I actually for some reason, oh, there it is. The 1-spot 618 located right there. Okay, so it looks like we did did find that support for literally 2 days. We came back and tried to succeed it, but then we failed it and used the broadening descending wedge support line as that guide before a continuation onto the upside. So guys, there's no way I could tell you how long we were going to be in this capitulation, okay, because this may very well have continued on and then later on made that upside. Okay, you guys, so very important things to notice here. So the upside continuation is in respects to not only reclaiming the inside of the channel, but also to make the fourth and true breakout attempt out of that broadening descending wedge. Okay, so this is very important for us to notice. Another thing is that we may actually be faked out at the test and breakout of test number 4 here on the broadening descending wedge. Why am I saying that? It's particular. We have to pay very close attention to this. It is in particular to the tests of the resistance from the channel. As you can see, test number 1 is not also sharing the test number 1 for the channel. We have the channel test number 1, channel test number 2, and guess what? It would be test number 3, a capitulation event. Okay, so meaning we would likely come up, set another bull trap. And why wouldn't it be, since ARCa just said that test number 4 is the true breakout? I did. Test number 4 is the true breakout out of the broadening descending wedge. But that doesn't mean that we can't also touch on what I usually talk about, guys. We talk about the 5th iteration also being the potential next breakout test, okay? So that means that we would likely break out of this. We would find that resistance potentially between potentially at that 1.272 at 437 or something. Even at that $3.80 zone. And then face this capitulation, okay? So please notice the details here within this, okay? That $3.10 is essentially the resistance of, or $3.08, right? It looks like it's the resistance of our broadening ascending wedge. Why does that sound familiar? Well, it's because the statistical upside is suggesting that $3 move to the upside. Okay, so very, very interesting things, the way they're correlating here. Okay, so we have that statistical upside here. We may actually have the longs, we may actually have some shorts cover the position all the way up here and then regain entry potentially around $4 or something, and then set a huge bull trap, reclaiming the inside of not only the channel, but also the inside of the broadening descending wedge, thus making it now of huge potential to break out of test number 5 from the broadening descending wedge, and then the true breakout of test number 4 of the channel. Okay, this is a complex breakout on a buy formation. Okay, this is something that we have to pay attention to, because there are people trading the channel and there are people trading the broadening descending wedge. Some may not see one another. Okay, so this is just what I'm saying. Upon that, which could happen over weeks and days or whatever, but upon the breakout of both of them and confirmation or validation of the newly converted resistances into supports, then we could potentially make an upside continuation to maybe around $12, which is particular to the trading rules. I'm talking about per the playbook rules, the broadening descending wedge is traded in that fashion. We find a price objective at the genesis of the formation, which is essentially giving us that $12.03 zone. Okay, let's move on to the last part of the analysis. All right, so right off the bat, in the immediate short term, this is the bi-hourly, and this is the 4-hour. We can see that we can have some short-term accumulation. And let's see what that would essentially mean. Okay, that would essentially mean that we can come back to reaccumulate for a long position at about the range of maybe $2.03 to about $2.11 before a bounce to the upside. Okay, so that's what the bi-hourly and the 4-hour are suggesting. The reason why I'm saying a bounce to the upside is because of the following the following time frames. Take a look at the daily here, is actually suggesting massive upside. Also, the 3-day suggesting massive upside as well, and we can even move into the 5-day and see that there is still upside being suggested here, and it looks like we may actually succeed this 14-day moving average pink line. Why am I suggesting that we may succeed it? Well, because we're in that gravitational zone within that area. Okay, if we reach that gravitational zone there, then we will likely use the gravitational zone to pull us right back into that following zone, being the bear strength percentile. Then we can retrace and use that 14-day simple as a support before a continuation onto the upside. So things are looking good for CEI. Just know that we're looking for a pullback tomorrow. All right, followed by a potential continuation to the upside for days after. All right, you guys. So if you feel like signing up to TradingView software and charting these things out alongside me, then go ahead and feel free to click on that affiliate link in the description below, as that will help my trading future out greatly. Okay, you guys. So with that said, I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.